And I have issues with that.
Do you think Christ's teaching is wonderful for you?
I find it very difficult to argue against Christ's teaching. But then again, maybe if I agree,
that you should love a bit more, and then you should love some more. Good question. So in terms of a love, Christ gives us a number of markers to elucidate what love means. Love is, as my neighbour, that good which I want for myself, I should pursue for you. So if I want to be free, I should pursue freedom for you. If I want a home for myself, I should allow those conditions that will allow you to have a home. If I want to be fed, then I should pursue those conditions that allow you to be fed. And if you also practice that love for him, and he practices that love for him, and he practices that love for him, and he practices that love for him, then what a world will we live in?
and I agree, and I'm an atheist.
So tell me any religion or any philosophy that don't preach the same.
Islam, Buddhism, I don't know about Sikhism. Islam, Buddhism definitely don't.
Sikhism's pretty inclusive.
I can't. I'm not going to say. It's been a long time since I've studied Sikhism, and I have forgotten everything that I learnt about Sikhism. However, Buddha taught that the point of life is to escape the wheel of reincarnation, and the way that you do that is to avoid suffering, because suffering is what pins you to the cycle of reincarnation. So when Buddha tripped upon this truth, he went and sat under a tree for decades. You know, this is not the proactive love that Christ teaches. Islam can be characterized as an ideology that is based upon supremacism, the supremacism of sharia law over all other systems, which means that other people who are not committed to sharia law must be subjugated so that sharia law can dominate. Now, Christ says that I should love you as my neighbour, whether you're a Christian or not. And that good that I want for myself, I pursue for you. So Christ's teaching about love is truly unique in world religions. It is truly unique because of its emphasis, and it's truly unique because of its quality. So I offer to you that the best philosophy by which we can live our lives are those of Christ.
Now, you would say no, that's not true. You know, we accept.
Do you know how many Muslims I've spoken to?
You know, whether you're Christian or Jews, whatever you do, whatever you want. You know.
Do you know something? This is the kind of. Shall we move away from the preacher? Let's move away from the preacher.
All of us in this world
Move away from the preacher.
are in bondage to sin.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Right.
Right.
I don't want to shout over the preacher. So let me ask. Let's just address this point. You said that a Muslim would say all the things that I'm saying. No, about love, about doing good. No, I heard your point. Let me address it. The reality of the matter is that this is the kind of liberal naivety that has been pushed by a political ideology in the Western Hemisphere.
It's not naivety. What he's saying is they
It
would
is
say that.
naivety. It is naivety. Because let me finish my point. It is naivety. Because I am a student of religion. I did my degree in religion and I specialized on Islam and Christianity. And I am telling you, as a fact, Islam does not teach the equality of all peoples.
But why would
It
the Muslim
teaches.
person say?
It teaches.
No.
They would.
Please.
They will tell you what they
Please,
want to hear to
please,
proselytize. But go on.
When I asked you
Yes.
what love is,
Yeah.
and you explained to me what love is,
Yeah.
and you stopped there
Yes.
in that box.
Yes.
When I ask you, I'm telling you, the same person, a Muslim person, would say to me exactly the same.
And you've heard that?
Yes.
Right, okay.
They all sick person.
Do you think that they would? Do you think? One second, brother. Do you think?
Right, it is a certain
Do you
naivety
think
now,
that a religion, a man who's proselytizing to you, wanting you to embrace Islam, is going to say something that would offend your conscience?
I'm not going into that. I'm not saying to you now, look what the Bible says. What this. I said to you what a Muslim would say.
Yes.
You are Christian.
Absolutely.
And you are preaching law.
But what I am saying-
You are preaching law.
Yes.
Yeah?
And who's inspired me to do that?
I don't know.
Jesus.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Yeah.
What does a Muslim? We know. No offense, brother. I don't know if this is your first time or whether you're a regular here.
It
But
is my
I've
first time,
debated with Muslims countless times, as evidenced on so-called films, and I will tell you what they preach to me. They preach Sharia law is the perfect system, and if we follow Sharia law, it will sort out all the problems of society. Go and speak to a Muslim if you don't believe me, and they'll drop in there attacks against Christianity, saying it's illogical, irrational, and makes no sense. But you know in your conscience that love makes sense. Now, here's the problem with Sharia law. Sharia law says that I, as a Christian, should be a dhimmi. Do you know what a dhimmi is?
No.
A dhimmi is a protected citizen. Protected by being humiliated, by being denied the rights to practice his own faith. In an Islamic state, hold on, in an Islamic state, I, as a Christian, will have to pay a tax called the jizya. And I pay this tax so that my life and my property are protected from the state. You know what we call that? It's called a racket. It's called a mafia racket. We Christians have 14... One second. He's touched on something here.
He has, but
We
you have
Christians have had 1400 years of experience of what it means to live under Sharia law. And let me tell you, it isn't about equality, it isn't about being loved, and it isn't about being cared for. It's about being humiliated, it's about being oppressed, and it's about being persecuted. Go and look up church history. Go and look up how Christians. Go and speak to the Coptic Christians. You're not interested in history? No. Not interested in history. Are your opinions separate from the history that came before you?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay, so history has informed you,
Yeah, it could.
but you're not interested in
I
history.
don't study history. I don't believe in history. But if history have any impact on me that I'm not aware of, I hold my head.
Okay.
My head.
This is the amnesia of our culture. This is the amnesia of our culture. We have forgotten what it meant for the Turks to invade Eastern Europe and oppress the Christians in Eastern Europe. We have forgotten what it meant when the Muslims invaded Spain and oppressed the Christians in the Iberian Peninsula. We have forgotten what 1400 years of jihad meant. And why? Why have we forgotten? Why have we forgotten? They're still oppressing Christians today. Go and speak to the Coptic Christians. Go and speak to the Syrian Christians.
I think the history argument is the tricky one.
No, hold on.
It's a tricky
Hold
one
on.
because Christianity is also
It's
being
still happening
misused.
today, and it's been going on for 1400 years.
Talk about what's happening today.
I am talking about what's happening
I think the history
today.
argument is
And if you
dangerous.
talk about
Christians are being persecuted today.
Why don't it run to Qatar?
Are you listening?
Oh, that is totally
Are you
different
listening?
subject, very complicated.
So
Very
let me
complicated.
just deal with this.
It is very, very complicated.
Let me just deal with this. Why in the West are we suffering from cultural amnesia? It is because the political state wants you all. It sees you all as a problem to be managed. That is why it does not want you to know your own history. That is why it doesn't want you to know your own past or have any pride in your own history, because if you did, you wouldn't tolerate half the shit that the establishment gives to you and that you receive from other groups that are opposed to your Christian culture and history. And that is why they want you to forget it, because social cohesion...
Why would they want you to forget?
One
Why
second.
they don't just take it away?
Because they want you to be like you are, thinking that all religions are the same. Because if all religions are the same, you don't see a problem with Islamic radicals blowing up stadiums in Manchester. You think that all people can do that, and so all people can be as bad.